And here we are.
The milky confines of mailbag.
Ew.
Yeah, well, you asked me, do I want you or something else?
Yeah, I
It's up to
had
you.
either you or extremes. So we'll go with extremes.
All right.
Um, these are just okay. UPI story from last month had the Halo No Kill Rescue Shelter in
Yeah.
Sebastian, Florida,
All right.
took in midnight. The cat was diagnosed with an intestinal
Oh,
blockage and marked for euthanasia at the other facility, but there, you'll see it's right in the name,
yeah.
the Halo No Kill Rescue Center.
Mm-hmm.
So midnight was brought to the doctor, underwent surgery, and they found what was causing the blockage. 26 hair ties.
Cat was hungry.
So either she was chasing after long-haired mice or was acting like a kid. And you saw
Yeah.
in its mouth it went.
Oh,
The shelter on Facebook posted, "This is an important reminder that small objects around the house can be incredibly dangerous for pets."
really?
Duh.
Really?
I mean, at least with kids, you go, don't. That way, when they do, you can, Heimlich them and tell them they were stupid.
Right. You scream at them the whole time you're saving their life.
Um, Midnight's doing fine after surgery and has quite the healthy appetite. Well, 26 hair ties, that'd fill any cat up, I'm thinking.
I would think. I would think. Can you imagine those things coming out the other side?
I mean, have
They might fire off like rubber bands.
Thwack.
Pating, pating.
Who the hell?
Right?
Yeah.
Wow, that smells like cat poo. What
And
happened?
this you is more human-y in nature.
Okay.
I did not know this, but March 15th was National Espresso Martini Day.
And here all I had was coffee.
I got to tell you, none of those words seem to fit together in my head, but okay.
I've heard of them. I just not interested.
Yeah, well, you really won't be interested.
I don't like
Buffalo
gin
Wild
that
Wings.
much.
Buffalo Wild Wings ran a short-term thing celebrating National Espresso Martini Day. Actually, they celebrated it for 3 whole days
That's what you need to get
with
over
their
the espresso martini
w-
hangover.
with their apparently wing-flavored espresso protini.
What? Wing
USA Today, which is
flavored.
sort of a newspaper.
How does the dry rub martini come out?
Well, actually, the drink featured
Mm.
10 grams of protein and buffalo dry rub, which lined the rim of the glass.
Oh, what? Hmm. I
Your
guess
taste
depending on,
buds could be confused as hell for just 12 bucks a pop.
hang on. If
Well,
I'm
they
think-
can't anymore. It was only the 12th through the 15th.
Yeah, if you have the right gin, that might be okay to get the savory and um the whatever notes you get out of gin.
I don't know. I've drank gin once, and all I remember was, oh my God, this tastes like sewer.
Well, the problem is they usually put it too much pine forward, like Tanqueray I can't stand. But there are others
Sure.
that have a lot. They're less pine forward, and it's kind of nice.
Okay.
And they've
Don't
got some
care.
nice
That
botanicals
one
in
filed under ew. Just ew. What I don't quite understand is,
Yep.
what's an espresso martini in the first place, and how does how does the dry rub?
Well, I'm
I
guessing
hang on. Ooh, the protini.
the proteiny is weird, but if it's an
So it's supposed to
espresso,
have protein in it.
yep, and that's
The
coming all over the place. All the coffee houses have got protein added stuff now.
good, but if you just ate the wings,
Yeah,
there you are,
there's no contrast. What happened?
and you're full, and your taste buds won't look. You're going, what the hell?
Yeah. Well, but this espresso martini, it sounds like they want you wide awake, drunk as a skunk, and don't you think?
Which, by the way, was this really long reel on. I know how I found it, but it was there when I was doom scrolling once, and
Yeah.
oh, it wasn't. Guy in North Dakota is pulled. He wasn't pulled over. Actually, they came up behind him because his truck was there with his blinkers on.
Okay.
He was pretty much passed out in the driver's seat.
Okay.
passed out in the driver's seat
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
on a highway. Pretty sure he didn't walk to the highway.
Pretty sure.
Anyway, it starts off as just, it's funny, right? Because he can't keep a thought in his head.
Right.
And he ends up punching one of the cops right in the snout.
That is such a good idea.
Let's take what is probably going to be a misdemeanor
And turn it into.
and turn it into this. Ended up, there were 4 guys there. He punched him. Big, I mean, he's a big, nice, he was well fed. So they couldn't get him out. They finally get him out, and the guy who had started the whole thing had zip tied his feet. And when they roll him on his back, he tries to kick him.
Yep. I've seen this.
This was not good.
Yeah.
What started off as what would have been one misdemeanor, probably DUI ticket, because they couldn't charge him with driving under the influence because they didn't see him drive.
Correct. But parking under the influence, you can get hassled.
There's still if you have the keys in the car.
I know places, there are states where they can nail you for that because you obviously
Minnesota
drove there.
If you have the keys in the ignition.
Yep. You were driving.
I don't remember now if it's in the car or in the ignition. Yeah. You can be charged with DUI whether you drove or not.
Mm-hmm.
And he thought he was doing the good thing. This guy's just amazing. So he ends up with a rap sheet of a long herd of stuff, and most of them get dropped later because, well, apparently
he was
too big an inconvenience for our courts to actually do their jobs.
Yeah, well, they're busy releasing felons.
So I have a question.
Shoot.
So, if you're a bartender serving, say, I don't know, espresso
martinis.
Yeah. Someone is at your establishment, drinks a few of those, don't know how. Well, I mean, I know how, I just don't know how.
Yeah.
Gets in his vehicle, I'm guessing a pickup. Could be an SUV.
Yeah.
Or an SVU. No, that'd be the show. Yeah. Gets in an accident, injures and or kills someone.
Oh, boy.
The bartender can be held liable.
That is correct.
In most states, like 29, 39 of the states.
Ooh, wow. I didn't realize it was that high already.
So here's my theory.
Yeah.
If judges put repeat offenders out, and by repeat, I mean they've got 1, not 39 or 72.
Mm-hmm.
Not that those numbers stick in my head at all.
For any reason, based on what's going on here in Minnesota.
Or anywhere else, yeah. Don't ride subways anymore. He only had 41. I mean, he was a relative piker.
Oh, good Lord.
If they go out and commit another crime, the judge should be held liable.
I'm getting there. I'm really getting there.
I'm already there.
Yeah.
There's just too much of this going on.
Oh, speaking of outrage, you're going to love this.
Will I be outraged?
Oh, and you will have such wonderful and well-founded feelings of superiority.
Oh, I like a feeling superior.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Cambridge, Massachusetts.
A fine town named after Cambridge, Ireland. Oh, don't look at me like that. I know.
Well, I thought it was Cambridge, Lithuania.
Poland.
Ah, there we go.
By the way, I was so impressed with the polls up until the last couple of weeks that it was just amazing. Anyway, go ahead. Now they're just dicks. Richards. Sorry.
There we are. Harvard University is moving to end decades of runaway grade inflation with a sweeping new proposal that would strictly limit the number of A grades professors can award, according to internal documents and reports first detailed by the Wall Street Journal.
Sweeping, you say?
Sweeping.
Oh, boy.
The proposal, which represents the most aggressive attempt to recalibrate Ivy League standards in 20 years, centers on a 20% cap. Under the new framework.
A 20% cat? What's the other 80?
Cap. Well, the other 80% is Tigger.
Or hair ties.
Yeah, there you go. Under the new framework, instructors would be prohibited from awarding a flat A to more than 20% of students in any given course. Now,
prohibited.
This forces them to gird on the crave, if you catch my drift.
The bell curve is back.
Right.
Terrific.
To accommodate smaller classes, the +4 buffer would be applied, allowing professors to smack 4 students in the head with something soft.
That seems fair.
That's not true. Award an
Too bad. That seemed like the only sane thing you've said so far.
allowing professors to award an additional 4 A's regardless of class size. So there's a buffer if it's a smaller class.
Uh-huh.
The shift comes as data reveals. Oh my God, are you sitting down?
I hope so.
Nearly 80% of all grades currently awarded at Harvard are in the A range, A or A minus.
I've met some Harvard grads. They shouldn't have been at Harvard, much less get an A.
With straight A's accounting for roughly 60% of all marks. This, what they euphemistically call compression at the top, has reportedly made it nearly impossible for employers and graduate schools to distinguish between high-achieving candidates.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take long once you hire one.
Yeah, to find out, you're an idiot. How did you get an A in anything? How did you get into Harvard? How?
Why?
The Ivy League is quickly falling off the map.
Well, son,
trustable institutions.
when your business isn't educating but indoctrinating.
Well, that and turning money. Harvard doesn't have to worry about the money because of their endowment.
They've got a huge, like, tens of millions of dollars.
No,
tens of billions of dollars.
Yes. And they don't have to worry about students paying anything ever again.
Yet.
Yep. Administrators noted the university has been forced to calculate grade point averages to 5 decimal points just to determine Latin honors, like summa cum laude.
I got that, yeah.
A practice many faculty members argue has rendered the GPA mathematically meaningless. And they are correct.
Oh, yeah.
In addition to the cap, the university plans to implement...
So there are still some faculty members that can actually figure things out.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure
some.
Yeah, but this is instituted by the management, not the teachers. Because
why?
I'm telling you
what
right now...
What does this do for you, other than prove that DEI doesn't work?
Keeps moving people through, and some people have to pay, so their endowment gets bigger.
I see what they're doing there.
But most of the teachers seem to actually want to teach and want the kids to learn something, and they want it to be rigorous, and it needs to be.
You think most?
Yeah. In addition to
You're an optimist, aren't you?
Oh, yes. In addition,
most might be a little much for me, but okay.
In addition to the cap, the university plans...
I could live with some. I could go as far as a few.
In addition to the cap, the university plans to implement a hidden average percentile rank, the APR, which should be the HAPR.
The double secret ranking.
This metric would track students' performance relative to their peers for internal use.
Only?
Such as awarding prizes and scholarships. But it would not appear on official transcripts sent to recruiters. Can you say we've already folded on this issue?
Tell me you've given up without telling me you've given up.
The plan has met fierce resistance from the student body, who are all completely lazy, inbred morons.
Not all, but I deal with most there.
They're all wet wipes. They all come from the Keir Starmer school of anything.
Okay, that's true. And if they didn't, they will when they leave.
Student government representatives argue that grade deflation will ignite toxic competition. Just let that settle in.
Is now toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And are you ready, Toad? Are you ready?
I doubt
Are you
it,
ready?
but
Are you still sitting down?
I really have to be.
And harm the mental health of undergraduates. My question here.
Isn't that part of what school does?
Hang on. Let me get my question in.
Sorry.
Isn't entitlement already a form of mental illness?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Critics also point to a failed 2004 experiment at Princeton, which was eventually abandoned after students claimed it disadvantaged them in the job market.
That was a
That's
college
what,
once, wasn't it?
yeah, that's what this is about. You inflate my grades so I have a better chance of getting the job I don't deserve, is basically what they're saying. The job I haven't earned. If ratified by the Faculty of Arts and Sciences, the new grading policy is expected to take effect as early as the
Hang on.
What?
I may have eaten a hair tie.
It's expected to take effect as early as the 2026-2027 academic year. That's coming this fall, signaling a definitive end to the era of an easy A at the nation's oldest university, at least for now.
So the Ivy League is pretty much
the Ivy League is a vacuum of intelligence.
useless.
Right. I'm
Well,
amazed they got rid of Ibram X. Kendi's school over there in the Ivy League. You know, after taking in $50 million and putting out 2 worthless papers, they finally said, get out of here.
We're too good for that. Go away.
Yeah, even they're too good for that. I want you to think about how that works.
You know, when I hear people say that they think college is a scam, I spent years and years saying, "No, that just doesn't sound right."
Yeah, but it's just not, I would say it's just not for everybody. It was a bad fit for me.
Yeah, but not the way it's run now. The way it's run now, it is a scam.
Yep, absolutely. And the Ivy League is the worst one. And if you're paying in an excrement load of money for a subpar education.
Would that be an excreted ton?
For your stupid student.
Who's going to hold a powerful job at least for a minute? Wow.
I feel better knowing that it's actually C students that run the world because they actually had to work to get the grade.
Exactly
they had to
right.
try. But now we're getting these geniuses.
This thing is annoying me.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you.
You just want to be as tall as me. Is that the thing in the picture?
I'd like to be taller, but
yeah.
I'm thinking at 67, my growth spurts are probably over. I'm into shrink spurts now.
Did you really mean to say that?
Shrink spurts is where you get shorter. You're disgusting.
Okay, let's go to the comments.
No, you're still disgusting.
Let's go to the comments, shall we?
I'm not going anywhere with you.
I'm so happy I could squirt. Now,
hadn't heard that in a while.
That's my favorite saying from that stupid TV show.
Yeah.
What? Which is something we say back on Melmac.
I miss him. You know what? Alf was ahead of his time.
Alf, ALF, Alien Life Form.
He would
TV show.
He would be more ahead of his time if he was on now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So commentary. This is apropos of episode 1051.
Yes.
Primarily, New York governor wants her lunch money back.
Yes.
The great tax exodus, right?
Yeah.
This from Lisa Phillips. Say hello to Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa. Miss Lisa.
Where stupid women lead, everyone flees. And I'm there with you, except I could say where stupid people lead.
Where stupid leads, people leave.
There we go. Stupid leads, people leave. It's a little more poetic.
And would fit on a bumper sticker.
I'm liking it.
No, you're not. You live in Minnesota. Have you seen our leaders?
This is my next $100 idea. We make the bumper sticker.
We'll be McWealthy.
Yes. We could afford to go to dinner at McDonald's together.
At the same time. And get it extra, extra large, for us.
Also from Lisa Phillips.
Body shaming's out.
Say hi to Lisa Phillips again.
Oh, Miss Lisa, you're still here?
Oh, yeah. She is not done with New York governor.
Oh, no. New York should be, but.
Put her in the psych ward. She will leave. Sounds like she needs an asylum.
There are some things I wouldn't wish on anyone, and there are several governors that are on that list.
I know one right here.
That's an easy one.
Mm-hmm.
I think California's governor might have a room.
Mm-hmm.
But do you really want to do that to a psych ward? I
Yeah,
mean,
those poor people need help.
that's
These
right.
idiots can't be helped.
No. There's an old saying about how you can cure ignorance with education.
Yep.
You can cure stupid with lead. That's all the farther we're going.
Say hello to Riley Brown, apropos of the same episode 1051.
Is Riley a he Riley or a she Riley?
I do not know.
Huh.
There's no indication one way or the other.
Okay.
Riley says, stop
You
feeding.
can't tell by the way they write?
No, see if you can.
You don't have your gendar on?
Stop feeding the bee.
No. The world's a better place for the bee. The scary part is half of what they write, I look at and go, all right, is that the bee or is it not the bee?
That's the question, really.
Really, it, sometimes I'm really glad it's not, and other times I'm really sad it's really not.
Apropos of This Is True Really News Mailbag episode 226.
Mhm.
From Janet, no relation to Cooper.
Cup.
Cup.
Yeah.
Wet wipe Starmer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 laughing, crying emojis. I'm dying. That was a good one.
No, I feel bad. I didn't even know she was sick.
And
Does
I don't
Cooper know?
and I don't know what Charizard tastes like, but I would assume he would taste spicy.
Well, apparently a lot like a crunchy cheese thing.
4 laughing, crying emojis. I think it's safe to say she really likes Patrick's input.
Yep. Bloody. Our secret Irish weapon.
Okay, say hello to Carolyn.
Hi, Carolyn.
This is apropos of one of our shorts, the most expensive coffee in London, the $150 fine.
Oh,
The lady waiting for the bus
Yeah.
has some dregs in her cup and decides right before I get on the bus, I'll dump them down the storm drain.
You know, the drain.
Where everything goes to drain.
The drain.
Yes. Carolyn says, well, that's strange. It's a storm drain. It's coffee, not gasoline.
Although,
That's
spending
still,
most of my adult light radio stations.
yeah, drinking coffee that tasted like gasoline.
Yep. And it was just as flammable sometimes, apparently. See the inside of those little, remember those little white, the glass carafes?
Oh, yeah.
After someone didn't check the coffee for hours.
You remember the coffee cookies in the bottom?
See,
You
now
had to
good
chip
coffee,
out?
good coffee was anything that poured out.
Pretty much, because it had to be warm
Yep.
and it had to
Yep.
have caffeine.
After that, all bets were off.
So it reminds me what Carolyn had to say. Reminded me of the movie that Val Kilmer was in. What was it called? Top Secret? Remember that send up? And at one point,
The cow.
no, Chocolat Mousse, the black guy,
I know, but I remember
Was-
the cow
he was draining a wine
with
bottle.
4 feet with galoshes.
He was draining a wine bottle, gets done, hands it to another guy. Guy swigs on it, goes, that's not wine. No, it's gasoline. One of the most poetic
You remember
movies.
really weird stuff.
That was funny, man.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Apropos of the most expensive coffee in London with the $150 fine short. Say hello to Janine.
Janine, how am you?
Coffee is not a pollutant. Unless there's something else our governments aren't telling us.
You don't want to scratch that scab.
Brits need to escape while they can. England has fallen.
Yeah.
If you call handing it over on a silver platter, that is, if you can call handing it over on a silver platter falling. It's more like jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge.
See, everyone's whining that we shouldn't be friends with Israel anymore.
Yeah.
Well, not everyone, but there's a very vocal few that do.
I think it's a vocal minority.
Yes, I do too. And one day Candace and Tucker will shut the hell up finally.
Wouldn't that be
Um,
nice?
and the worst part is I used to like both of them, and I'm going, what
No,
happened?
not anymore.
There
They've
was a
lost their
traumatic
minds.
brain injury somewhere?
They've lost their minds.
No, they bought and paid for. Um,
Maybe.
there are some you listen to and go, that's just so stupid. How could they must be paying? No, they're not. Those people actually, there are some that actually believe it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they're not that. Anyway, because it's Tuesday, it's a day that ends in Y. Um, no, keep Israel. Quit, quit being buds with the UK because they're useless.
And let's take care of the Islamist problem. Not
Where,
Islam, but the Islamists.
where did you, where did your country come from? We were English once.
In
Back when England was still English.
the good old days.
You
Well,
know,
things change.
30 years ago.
Yeah. So, all that being said,
That spinning noise is Margaret Thatcher
moving on.
and every PM before her.